If you are wondering how, as a school teacher or as a mom, how you're going to stay on track with your goals when the school year starts, if you're thinking when the school year starts, all bets are off, any goals that I might have are put on the back burner, how can I stay consistent with what I want to create with my body and with food and with my mind in a way that's going to sustain and be, work for the whole school year? My clients that are teachers have been asking me, Carrie, when the chaos of the school year starts, what do I do to stay consistent? I'm going to share with you 7 things to do and then how to support them in implementation. So these are tips. These are things that you can do so that you can stay in harmony and out of the food and body struggle throughout the chaos of the school year. The first one is to journal. I'm a big fan of journaling. As soon as you pick up a pen and begin to write, the survival responses that are in your lower primal reptilian brain calm, and now you're up in your prefrontal cortex, your true divine self. That's where all your executive functioning choices, decision, judgment calls are made. And when you pick up a pen, you're now moving out of those knee-jerk emotional responses, and you're moving up in here to the conscious, clear, rational thinking self as soon as you pick up a pen, because when you form language, that is done up here also in the prefrontal cortex. So picking up a pen and writing, whatever way feels natural and authentic to you, it doesn't matter. That switch is flipped as soon as you pick up a pen. Tip number 2 is tapping. EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique, is an amazing tool to be able to maintain calm. What we want to do is not get stuck into these fight or flight responses, because when we do, where we're going to go to automatically is old patterns that do not serve us. What we want to do is create calm. That's why we're journaling. That's why I'm offering up to you the idea of EFT tapping. When you do EFT tapping, look it up, and I'll do probably another video on here soon about EFT tapping, is that you are stimulating the vagus nerve, which is the largest nerve in the parasympathetic side of your nervous system. In order to be able to create and maintain new neural pathways or new habits, you need to be able to be in a state of calm, which is the parasympathetic side of your nervous system. This is all according to the polyvagal theory that's very popular right now. It's really applicable. It's given us lots of understanding around our nervous system. Also, when we tap, which is a series of tapping different pressure points on our body that activates the parasympathetic side of your nervous system, you also are validating your emotions and then rewriting or reframing your thoughts or emotions to get into a line with where you want to go. Very powerful technique. Tip number 2 is to use visualization. Your lower brain cannot tell the difference between a really good detailed visualization where you're invoking emotion and real life. Your lower brain, your subconscious automated thinking self. So if you can take yourself through a really thorough visualization as you're drifting off to sleep of what you want to occur in your life, you are essentially laying the groundwork, in your brain for that to occur later on. That's how that works. Visualization is very powerful. You're basically programming your brain of what you want it to create for you. And your lower brain is the servant to you. Neville Goddard, in his book called Feeling is the Secret, it's an old school book, talks about how the lower brain, subconscious, he talks about the subconscious brain. I call it the lower brain. The subconscious brain serves your higher true divine self, your conscious thinking self. And so when you're visualizing, where you evoke the emotion in the visualization, and when you feel the details of the visualization, you're programming your subconscious brain to create that. Your subconscious or lower brain is your servant. It will believe whatever you consciously tell it. Not only that, but it acts as the database with a filter. Anytime you get on, if you ever use a search engine like Google, you put different search parameters on it. Your brain's search parameters that you put on your lower brain is what you consciously tell it through visualization, journaling, the words you speak, your internal dialogue. All of these things is programming your lower brain of what you want to bring to you, because millions of pieces of information are coming at you every moment of every day. And we don't consciously, assess all of those bits of information. It's filtered through an immense filter that our lower brain has for us. If you've ever shopped for a car, and as soon as you start shopping for a certain kind of car, all of a sudden you start noticing more of that on the road. It's not because there's now more of those cars on the road. It's because now you've put a filter on your brain that says this is important, pay attention to this type of car. Whatever you tell your brain, whatever you focus in on is what you're telling your brain to filter to you. That's the third one. The fourth one is to work on breath work. Breath work is so powerful. Through breath work, you're able to activate the parasympathetic side, the calm side of your nervous system, so that you're able to act consciously, rationally, and also calm anxious nerves or anxiety in your autonomic nervous system, your ANS. So breathing, what you want to do is you have an inhale, a hold, and a long exhale that's longer than your inhale. And that's the most basic way of breathing. There are other techniques out there as well. One that was introduced to me by Dr. Andrew Huberman, who is a neuroscientist at Stanford. He's got a lot of great content out there on the internet right now. He does a technique where you breathe in and then you do another quick one. So it's a inhale, an exhale. So an inhale, a quick, like strong additional inhale on top of the inhale, a hold, and then a long exhale. And when you do that, 4, 5, 6, 10 times, it really institutes, again, stimulating the parasympathetic side of your nervous system to turn on, and that fight or flight or freeze or fawn response that you might have going on, it calms that and allows you to be in your conscious, clear thinking self. So remember, those of you who are mamas, those of you who are school teachers and thinking about all the chaos of the school year, that's just a thought. It's just a thought to think that that is chaos. But what we can do, though we can't control those outside sources, we can create calm consistently on the inside, within our own system, within our own mind, within our own body. So number 1 was journaling. Number 2 was tapping. Number 3 was visualizing. 4 was breath work. And number 5 is walking. Move your body. If you can get up and walk first thing in the morning outside, ideally, that is going to instill, and if you can actually do it in a green space or around water, in a park, right? Getting outside in nature consistently once a day, moving your body is going to have immense amount of benefits psychologically and physiologically for you. It's also going to be great for your immune system. We have to move in order to activate our immune system. Our lymphatic system does not have a pump like our heart does in our circulatory system. We have to move in order to create that lymph to flow. So movement, and I just say walking because it doesn't raise cortisol levels. I'm all for exercise and all for even intense exercise, but let's begin. If you don't exercise, let's start with walking because it's not going to increase stress hormone levels. The 6th thing is having a gratitude practice. Write down or verbally say out loud the things that you are grateful for every single day. And then the 7th thing is to watch your thoughts and question your thinking. When your brain is telling you, this is so bad, this is so big, this is so terrible, what am I going to do? This is so much chaos. How am I going to get all this done? All that brain drama dust that's getting kicked up in your brain, watch your thoughts and don't believe them. Question them. Maybe it's not chaos, and maybe it's possible for you to have complete chaos throughout the school year and any time of the year as you implement 1 or 2 of these tips that I just went over consistently. Now, the next question that many of my clients have is, yeah, okay, Carrie, I get all this and I can do it for a period of time, but how do I stay consistent? How do I keep from, having these things fall? You have a floor. Brooke Snow, she has a concept called floors and ceilings. And she talks about when you do goals, you strive for the ideal, but you want to strive for a habit, right? When you institute a new habit, you're striving for the ideal way of living that habit. Say if you are instituting an exercise program, ideal, let's say, is working out 30 to 40 minutes 4 times a week. That would be the ideal, just as an example. Whereas the floor would be like a mini goal. Mini goals are so powerful because they allow you to be consistent. So we're creating a framework for the habit. We have the ideal that we're shooting for, and then we have the floor. So let's say the floor is doing 2 sit-ups a day. Here's the interesting, people say, well, 2 sit-ups a day isn't going to get me anywhere. But this is what happens is that when you do 2 sit-ups, the momentum is already going. And some days you might be like, yeah, that's good enough. And the habit is maintained. But most days you're going to say, actually, I can do more than 2 sit-ups. I'd rather do 4 or 5 or 10 or 20. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go do this as well, something else as well to move my body. When you create a floor that's very easy for your brain to buy into, no matter what's going on, now you have the support of your habit to make it consistent throughout time. So you have your ideal, which is the ceiling, you have your floor, and now your habit will be supported throughout time. So that's what you do. For example, if you're going to do tapping, I'm going to decide that I'm going to tap in the morning before I get in the shower or before I get dressed every day. Because for sure I'm going to shower, or for sure I'm going to get dressed, or for sure I'm going to brush my teeth. So you couple that simple floor with a habit that you already have. And then you have a floor, and then you have a ceiling, and you just consistently do it throughout time. And if you miss a day, you don't beat yourself up. You say, oh, I'm going to for sure do it tomorrow, because we don't want missing days to become a new trend. We just want to stay consistent. All right. So those are your tips. Okay. Mamas in the school year, they're going to be busy, and teachers that are going to be really busy during the school year. Just know that when you institute habits to maintain calm within your body, no matter what's going on out there, you're able to stay consistent with whatever you want to do, whatever you want to create in regards to your body, in regards to food, in regards to any goal, really. When you're able to have a practice of creating calm, then you're not thrown off so much by the things going on outside of you, because you have a habit of consistently maintaining those habits on the inside of you. I like to think of it as nervous system or brain hygiene. Just as you brush your teeth or floss your teeth regularly, you might do a quick brushing, or you might do a thorough brushing with flossing and everything. But regardless, over time, that's going to work for your benefit. The same thing goes for these tips. Whatever you consistently do throughout time is going to be multiplied as the days go by, and that's what we want. Okay, give those a try. Thanks so much. Like and subscribe to get more of these tidbits about your brain and food weekly. Bye-bye.